So you are about to negotiate with the HR of the company about your salary. Now you're not sure how much you should ask for. What if you ask for too little and the role budget is much higher? What if you ask for too much and you actually lose the job? So how do you actually go about negotiating with the HR to land yourself a very good package? In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 key strategies that you should use to get the optimal amount when you're actually negotiating with the HR. Before we get started, do subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon. The first strategy is you should always show to the HR that you are in demand. How do you show that? You typically tell the HR that you are also interviewing with 2 other companies. You don't disclose the names of the 2 other companies, but you always give the HR that there are 2 more competitors she has to fight with. Why does this work? One, because the HR knows there are 2 other players, the interviewing process and the salary process gets much faster. And secondly, the first quote that she will give you will be highly competitive because she knows she has to compete with 2 other people. So that's strategy number 1. Strategy number 2 is never ever give the first estimate. So HRs will typically ask you what's your current base, how much of a hike are you looking at, and you should never ideally answer this question. What you should tell the HR is, I am interviewing with 3 people and I am going to trust the judgment of the 3 people to look at the offers that they make, and you should always let them come back with the first quote. The reason for that is you might ask for say 15% or 17% and turns out that the budget for the role is much higher. So you should never give the first quote in terms of what you are looking for. If the HR is pushing you a lot saying how much money, you can always give the answer that money is one of the many things you're looking at. You're also looking at brand, work culture and role. So this is strategy number 2. Strategy number 3, very critical. Don't be afraid to negotiate once you have got the quotes. Now this is a mindset issue. You have to understand why it's important to negotiate. Now, over a person's life, a salary becomes very important. A salary is a reflection of an individual's success and an individual's skill sets. And if you have to look at disproportionate salary growth, it often comes via job shifts when you're negotiating through HR. So here are the mistakes you should not make. You should never be apologetic to the HR that you're asking for more. You should never say, I am sorry, but I think for my skill set, I need 2 more lakhs. You should never say, I am sorry. So this is a mindset issue and you should not be apologetic about negotiating. The other thing you should be careful about is during negotiations, HRs will promise you a lot. They will say the average bonus over the last 3 years has been 3 lakhs per year. Now, never take these numbers at face value. If they are giving you an assurance of a minimum guaranteed bonus, then ask them to write that in an email. They will typically not. And if they are not, you should write them in an email saying, hi, we had this conversation. You told me the average guaranteed bonus is expected to be around this range, and ask them to acknowledge it. Strategy number 4, how do you go about negotiating in a good way? The single biggest tactic is know what your peers are earning. So how do you know your peers for the same role, how they are earning? One is you can look at various websites. I think Glassdoor gives a good sense of what the salary should be. There are similar such portals. You'll have a good idea of how much to expect. The second way is by talking to your batchmates, talking to your peers, talking to your seniors, and getting a sense of what is the right kind of salary you can expect for that role. Strategy number 5, and the most important one, never ever negotiate on the CTC. Always negotiate on the fixed salary. Now, there's another video I have created and the link to it is upstairs in terms of how HRs inflate your package. They inflate your package through joining bonuses, through ESOPs, through multiple other things. So you might be getting a CTC of 30 to 35 lakhs, but you will only get 1 lakh in hand every month. So never ever negotiate on the CTC. You always negotiate on the fixed first. Now, if your fixed is not increasing by 15 to 20% at least, you should really question in terms of why you are taking that shift. So always negotiate on the fixed. And once your fixed is at least 15 to 20% plus, you look at the other elements. Now, it might happen that at the end, some of these discussions don't work out. If you are genuinely speaking to 2 or 3 HR, some of them might not work out. And you should be polite and you should thank them for the opportunity. And you should say that I've accepted another offer, or unfortunately, this is not working out for you. Now, sometimes HR will make you go into a guilt trap. They will say, oh, we did so much for you. We spent so much time on you. How can you say no to us? And the answer for that is very simple. You should say that it is your career and you want to be very conscious about the place you're getting in and you want to spend that time. And given that you're speaking to 3 people, you will obviously say no to 2 people. And never feel guilty about this process. It is your career and you should be supremely selfish about it. So, are you more comfortable negotiating with the HR about your salary next? If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. And if you like this video, do subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon. Till next time, take care.